Hey, what's going on, everyone? Henry Kaminski here from uniquedesignz.net with another daily gem for you guys. And today is going to be a continuation of what we were talking about the past couple days and keys to growing your brand. And so today I want to jump into this particular topic, which is what is social currency and what does the phrase mean? A friend, a peer, someone just like me. So I want you to remember this phrase, okay? A friend, a peer, someone just like me. And then last week we talked about this a little bit, and we talked about how important it was where you get your trusted sources from. So from reviews to credibility, you know, people nowadays look to a friend, a peer, or somebody just like me to get that versus back in the day, they used to get it from the president. They used to get it from the CEO. So anyway, just to give you a quick little background on that in case you're jumping in today on this video and haven't seen that last week. So diving in. So a brand exists in two places: the heart of the company and the company the brand serves. So that's a super high level here. But once you get this, I'm going to tell you right now, the floodgates are going to open wide. And once they open, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be able to put the genie back in the bottle. So you've probably seen this over and over and over again, where you've seen a brand struggle maybe over a year, over a course of 2 years, and then all of a sudden, bam, they catch on like wildfire and their brand goes through the roof. How does this happen and why does this happen? So I'll tell you this, communities grow around great brands. So if users of a certain brand start to identify with each other, now it becomes a symbol. Now it becomes a lifestyle. I'll give you a quick example. So yesterday, my wife and I went to the Bruno Mars concert. If you want to check out some of the photos, just go to my Facebook page and you'll see some of the videos and some of the images that we caught. I mean, amazing concert, amazing performer. But as a brand nerd, I was watching things on a deeper level, and it was amazing to see how many folks came into the stadium dressed in the robe, right, that he was wearing in certain videos of his. The way he wore his hat, I watched hundreds of people wear the hat the same way, down to the shoelaces that this guy wears. These guys, these people were all emulating him, and they were part of the Bruno Mars nation, if you will. And it was crazy how this formed. And it was amazing to see one individual. And if you know Bruno Mars, if you ever got to see him in person, he's a little guy. And he has a tremendous amount of influence inside of his community and inside the music industry overall. So let's dive into the question at hand here. So what is social currency? What is social currency? So basically what it is, I'll break it down. It's very simple. Just like people use money to buy products and services, great brands use social currency to achieve desired impressions among their audience. Again, the Bruno Mars example, people, hundreds, thousands of people were wearing his outfits and wearing hats a certain way because Bruno wears it that way. Look at Apple, for example. We talked about them last week. They created the Mac culture. So I want to take another example, and I want you to start to think about this guy. I want you to start to think about James Bond. Now, James Bond been around for 100 years, right? But let's break James Bond down for a second. So he's obviously the masculine archetype. He's something or someone that people like to aspire to be, right? He's charismatic. He's a straight up stud. He's a super spy. He travels to exotic locations and goes on these crazy adventures, right? There's entire websites dedicated to people x-raying Bond's clothes and possessions to see where they can get them. And I couldn't believe this. Did you know that there was a waiting list, a massive waiting list, to buy a Walther PPK, the pistol? And people just buy Omega Seamaster watches because Bond wore them. You know, people buy these things to feel like they're part of something. Now, they don't want to be spies, obviously, but they want to feel like they're part of something. So here's how it works. I'll break it down to you. It's pretty simple and it's pretty easy once you look at it at this view. Before we all buy something, we look at the brand, we look at the product, we look at the price, and then we decide based on the peer group it's going to make us become part of once we buy it. So social currency is a way that makes people feel good to their friends, their peers, and people just like them. Now, Captain Obvious speaking here, but nobody wants to buy a product that makes them look worse, right? You know, as a kid, we all wanted the Air Jordans, right? Not the cheapo sneakers that you could buy on Canal Street in New York City, where that's where I happened to buy my sneakers when I was a kid. But I always wanted the Jordans. So even as a kid, we wanted our sneakers to say something about us. So the first rule here is clearly obvious. Nobody wants products or services that are going to make them look bad, right? So how do we make people look good? Well, I got the answer. We want to make them feel like insiders. So what does that mean? I'm sure you guys are aware of some sort of exclusive membership that you're aware of, a mastermind group, a country club membership, an inner circle. A lot of people are calling these groups nowadays. And I know people that pay $25,000 to $50,000 a year to be part of these groups. I have a client who makes $2.5 million a year just by having 100 people in this group on an annual basis. And I'll tell you why these people, because I was part of the group last year. Here's why people join these groups. They love to get the inside scoop. They love to be part of an elite group. They love to have access to something or someone that most people can't. What does it do? It cranks up their social status to a completely new level. So I want to share with you another example that makes this much more clear to you. So back in the day, Harvard did a study and they asked students, what would you rather make per year? $50,000 or $100,000? Now you may think that the answer is obvious. 100K, it's twice as much, right? No. Let me give you the details. So option A, the 50K a year. The circumstances were this. Those folks were getting paid twice as much as their peers. So the peers were making 25, they were making 50. Option B, the folks that were making 100K were making twice as less than their peers. The peers were making 200,000. Guess what the students chose as far as what they wanted to make per year? You got it. Option A. People do not care about how they're doing. The only thing that they care about is their performance in relationship to others. It's all about hierarchy. It's freaking primal if you look at it this way. I mean, apes have a certain thing that they do, a certain gestures that they make to define their status in their rankings, you know, among their peers. Dogs, as you know, they're pack animals, and they do certain things to define who the alpha is in the pack. And so these are so important to understand, you know, what social currency is and how it plays such an important role in building your brand. And so let me give you another example. Look at scarcity and exclusivity in these groups. What does it do? At the core level, it elevates people's status. It helps products catch on. And we were talking about this yesterday, why certain brands catch on, right? It helps products catch on by making them seem more desirable. It's like the more difficult it is to obtain, the more expensive it is, the more it's worth, right? Look at Disney, for example. Disney has a great way of showing this scarcity and exclusivity. So they created that vault, right, concept where Snow White will come out on DVD for a limited time before it gets locked in the vault, right? So getting that DVD before your brother or sister gets it, right, gives you the bragging rights before it gets locked in the vault. Because once it gets locked in the vault, you got it, they don't, haha, I'm better than you. It's crazy. But that's how dialed in this is. And this is how it creates that status. And so, for example, my Branding on Demand program, my Brand Accelerator program, I only allow X amount of people in per month. Why? Because I'm a big quality over quantity guy. And I'm only looking to work with go-getters and A-rate clients. So that's why the prices are the way they are. That's why I have a cap. I know exactly how many people can come into this program so that it maintains the quality that it has. And that's the key. All right. So today's prescription, today's question of the day is this: how does your brand make your clients feel? How does your brand make your clients feel? That's what I want you to sort of digest today. Because the more social currency you can create or provide to your community, to your marketplace, the more attractive your brand is going to be. And this is how you grow exponentially. So there you have it, guys. Hope you got some value out of this. Hope you understand the power of social currency and what it does for your brand. So I encourage you guys, if you like these videos, to share them with a friend or colleague, leave some comments below, catch me on a DM if you have questions or concerns, or drop them in the comments and I'll be able to get back to you as soon as I can. So have an awesome day, guys, and I'll catch you on tomorrow's Daily Gem. Talk soon.